Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hunter Matthews, and this is my story. So, when I was really young, God has been faithful to me and my family since the earliest I can remember. When I was little, me and my brother were both sick when we were born, and when I had 21 surgeries now to count, but when I was younger, before the age of 5, I had 19, 14 being on my stomach and small intestine, and 5 being on my airway. Um, so I was at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, which is one of the best hospitals in the country, and with some of the best doctors in the country. And they were awesome. They did everything they could and everything they did to help me get better. But ultimately, it was God that worked with their hands in the operating room and everything that helped me get back to being healthy again. Um, I was left with only 10% of my small intestine, which is not a lot, and makes my life different in many ways. So when I was growing up with this condition, which is now they call it short bowel syndrome, but that's kind of like the gist of it. Um, but growing up with this condition, I just had a very different life. I had a feeding tube until I was 15, and I wasn't able to do things that like other kids could do. I couldn't, and I still can't lift weights in my sport, which we'll get into in a minute. The way that other people can, which makes playing sports and stuff a little bit more difficult and challenging, especially at a college level. So growing up, just not being able to do things the way that other kids are able to do them, and it was just always hard. And one of my life verses is, I actually have 2 or 3, but I'm only going to go over 2, and is Jeremiah 29:11, which is, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but plans to give you hope in the future." And that's always just rang out to me, especially because no matter how, I would say, sick I was in the past, and just how God saved me, He always has a plan for my future. And that was always really encouraging to hear and everything. But growing up, getting into high school and college level, as I was getting ready to come to college and be a Division II NCAA athlete, playing a sport that uses a lot of abdominal muscles, which I don't have because my abdominal muscle is completely open still. It was just, I had to like adapt almost, I would say. It was very challenging, especially learning how to play. And then I've had a few coaches and equipment that I use, like rackets and stuff, that taught me out. But God has been behind that as well. I want to be able to play the sport that I love without God stepping in and really strengthening me. And that gets into my second life verse, which is Philippians 4:13, which is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," which is very true. I know it's a very popular verse, but it very stands true in my life ever since I was younger, even up till now. Um, he's been my strength, and there's really nothing I could have done without him. And especially, like, not just me, but the doctors that helped me from then till now. It's just been, everything's been done through God's hand, which is incredible to think about. But yeah, it's been, everything's just been great since I was sick. God took me from being one of the sickest kids in a very, very big and very known hospital to 100% fully healthy now when I'm in my 20s. So it's been a long 19 years since I first started, almost 14 years now. It'll be 14 this year since all that started. But it started and ended, I would say, because I spent 3 months in the hospital in 2003. So it's just, God used what could have been a setback, and very much was at the time, for his good. And I'm just really looking forward to see what God has in store for me in my future, and what He's going to do through me. It's something that's kind of exciting and kind of scary at the same time, but it's just been something that's been truly a blessing. I wouldn't have changed anything that's happened. If you'd asked me back when I was younger if I could change, if I would change it, I would have probably said, yeah, 100%, let's do it. But now I probably wouldn't change a thing of what happened when I was younger, and then till now. It's just been a wonderful experience, and God's just worked through me, and He's been faithful to me and my family ever since day one. So I'm Hunter Matthews, and that's been my story in 7.